How did Don Broco, a band with a 15-year history, manage to reinvent themselves and build a cult following powerful enough to outdo a superstar like The Weeknd on the UK Albums Chart? For over a decade, these four lads from Bedford have been conquering bigger and badder venues worldwide, amassing a devoted fan base, and the best part, it seems like they're only just getting started. Well, welcome back to Who the F***, the show taking a deep dive in some of your favourite artists, new and old. In today's episode, we're looking into the brilliant Don Broco. They're a band that's been around for a minute, you know, and I've not really ever given them the time of day, so it's been really fun to go and dive into their back catalogue, look at their influences, look at their journey so far. It's a hell of a journey. So without further ado, if you've never heard of them before, hopefully this video will help answer the question, who the f*** is Don Broco? Don Broco are a four-piece band from Bedford formed in 2008. Although they started playing their first shows while studying at secondary school, the band wasn't officially formed until they attended university in Nottingham. At first, the band tried out different names such as Summer Fall and Club Sex. However, they ended up choosing Don Broco after the guitarist's son Delaney broke his wrist in a football accident. They were posed the question in an interview, of which Rob replied, "The long, boring story in a nutshell is that one of our original names floating around was Don Loco. Then guitarist Simon broke his wrist playing football and I made a terrible joke that we should change the name to Don Broco from Loco. We had nothing else going for us, so it stuck." If you go to Spotify or Apple Music, it would be really easy to look at their back catalogue and think that they didn't exist as a band until 2011. But their debut EP, Living the Dream, was actually released in 2008, and it was led by the EP's title track. Listening to this EP, you can really hear influences from the mid-2000s, reminding me of bands like Ender Shikari and Funeral for a Friend, and I really enjoy it. This would make complete sense as they went on tour supporting Shikari as part of their December tour in 2010, before they releasing their record Beautiful Morning in January 2011. It feels like a beautiful morning. After releasing their second EP, they went on their third UK headline tour in May. Later in August, they played in the introducing stage for the first time at Reading and Leeds Festivals. Okay, this next section is going to feel a little bit more rushed than usual. Usually what I like to do is start off with the first single, debut EP, first album, big tour, next album, so on and so forth. But like many other bands, I feel like Don Broco have gone for a bit of a reinvention. Bring Me the Horizon are a big one that springs to mind. But they don't play anything from their first two records in their sets, so I feel like so this early part is important, but really I feel like the next chapter is where it gets exciting. In March 2012, the band released their singles Priorities. The album was released in August 2012 and received relative critical acclaim. Kerrang gave the album 8 out of 10 with a simple comment saying, "Priorities is chock full of gargantuan tunes." In November 2014, the first single off their sophomore album, Money, Power, Fame, premiered on BBC Radio 1's Rock programme. They then went on to release their sophomore record, Automatic, in August 2015. The album was poorly received, scoring 47 on Metacritic. The Guardian only gave the album 2.5 stars, saying, "Automatic and Let You Get Away are nigglingly catchy, but soulless. And if Don Broco's original fans edge nervously away, Automatic will presumably make or break them." So they subsequently went on to leave their record label, and this is the start of that next chapter that I talked about. This is kind of the real birth of the modern day Broco. June 24th, 2016, the band signed with Sharp Tone Records, which takes us into the modern era of Broco. By July 2016, they put out their newest release on Sharp Tone, the massive Everybody. The next single, Pretty, wouldn't come out until almost a year later, and it was a significant part of the build-up to the LP's release. Pretty has since gone on to become an iconic track of the band. 8 days a week, sucker, 8 days a week. It's the record that really feels like they're evolving as a band, and I'm happy making bangers for their audience. In November 2017, the band played a sold-out show at London's Alexandra Palace. Selling out a 10,000 cap venue is no easy feat for a band of their size, but it absolutely shows the cult following that they've managed to muster up. Their third studio record, Technology, was released in February 2018 to polarizing reviews. If you look at Metacritic, the album received 51. And if you then go look at some of the reviews, like Q Magazine, they only gave the album 1 star, saying, "The title track, Come to LA, essay hit home with the impact of a piece of GCSE social studies coursework. But this is why it's important to trust your sources. You don't go to Q Magazine for like a hard rock album, you go to the metal critics and the rock critics. Kerrang and Rock Sound loved the album. Rock Sound gave it 90, clocking in at just under an hour across 14 songs, about 12 of which could easily be singles. Technology is engaging, fun, and an early contender for Album of the Year, plus the album of the band's career. The album featured the 2 previously mentioned singles, as well as live staples T-shirt, Song, and Technology.
Wouldn't be who would be without you.
And in September 2019, they put out the standalone single, Action. Like many other bands during the pandemic, Don Broco took some time off to write and record new material. They returned in May 2021 and dropped the massive hit Manchester Super Reds #1 Fan.
Manchester Super Reds #1 fan! Manchester Super Reds #1 fan! Take a ride back to the first time with the gang. Take a ride back when you first found up the man. Trying to ride back, get a rise out on the down.
They debuted their record on Animax Future Sound show and announced the next day that they would release their 4th studio album, Amazing Things, in October. In July, they trolled fans by having Rob post his boxing training routine on social media, leading fans to believe that he was preparing for his first professional fight against UK heavyweight boxer Dave Allen. After seeing all these YouTubers try their hand at boxing, we thought it would be an interesting experiment to see if we could convince people I was deluded enough myself to fight a professional boxer. Turns out it was all a bit of a front and ended up being part of their music video for their next single, Gum Shield. In October, the band released their 4th album, Amazing Things, which initially reached number 91 in the UK albums chart. Yet, the physical release of the record was delayed due to the global vinyl shortage. Once it was released, the album quickly climbed the chart, reaching number 1, an incredible feat for the band. It was also really well received. Kerrang gave the album 4 out of 5, saying, Amazing Things is about being alive during trying times, of dealing with the global pandemics and culture wars, face-to-face hatred and online abuse. But it meets those challenges with hope in its heart and fists full of the year's most urgent and unusual tunes. Get ready to be amazed. The record features the 3 previously mentioned singles, as well as the album's standout and actor homage, Bruce Willis. The music video for which is absolutely exceptional. In April 2022, the band announced their arena tour in 2023, consisting of 4 dates in Cardiff, Birmingham, Leeds and London, and it's set to have support from new metal legends Papa Roach. Secret set at Reading, anyone? So there we have it. That's the story of Don Broco thus far. 4 albums. They've really had a nice reinvention of themselves, and I think that that's an exciting thing for any band to go and do. And so many bands can't do that. To see a band go through the arc and do it, change themselves, make what they want to make, and be successful doing it, nothing but respect for bands like that. Are they my favourite band? No. And then before this, I hadn't really gone into looking at their music. I think that one thing I really love about them is that there's a band out there making loud music, getting young people excited to listen to loud guitar music, and not in this elitist, pretentious metal head way that has existed for so many years. They're going out there and doing their thing and having fun, and I have nothing but respect for that. I feel like their set at RNL is going to be a really exciting one this year. Will I go check it out? Maybe. It depends on what the crew says. This one's kind of, I feel, out of my hands, but it's been a lot of fun diving into their catalogue. What do you reckon? Are you going to check them out at this year's festival? Have you seen them from before? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.